when you look at your situation in New Jersey right now, teachers don't like you. The public employees unions, they hate you right now. Your approval rating, 47% of the people in New Jersey disapprove right now of the job that Chris Christie is doing in the state. Simply go with the territory?
Yes, you earn political capital in order to spend it to achieve big things. And what makes what happened in New Jersey different than what's happened in other places is we did it in a bipartisan way. This is not just a Republican plan or a Democratic plan. It's a bipartisan plan where we compromised to put the people first, Matt. This is the taxpayer is going to be saved over $130 billion over the next 30 years. We needed to bring equity and shared sacrifice to this.
This took a long time. This was a year-long process. During that time, you became known as a guy who speaks in blunt terms, sometimes to a shocking level. I've always admired that from you. I really have. But I listened to a comment you made recently, and even I was surprised. This is an exchange you had with a voter over cuts in education. Let me play it, okay?
Schools, you send them to private schools, so I was wondering why you think it's fair to be cutting school funding to public schools.
First off, it's none of your business. I don't ask you where you send your kids to school. Don't bother me about where I send mine.
Is that a little blunt even for you?
No, it's not, because her point is completely ridiculous. I shouldn't be able to make decisions about budgetary issues that relate to public schools because my children go to private school? That was the question.
No.
And it's none of her business where I send my kids to school, Matt.
I thought it was a fair question. I'll tell you why. Because what she was asking you was, she clearly sends her kids to public schools.
Right.
And she's saying, Governor, I understand you send your kids to private schools, but is it possible, though, then you don't understand how these cuts are going to affect families like hers on a daily basis? Why isn't it a fair question?
It's nonsensical. I mean, to think that as the governor, you don't understand every cut that you make and the effects that it has on people is nonsensical. And the fact is, wherever I send my children to school, because my wife and I decide that we want our children to go to Catholic school because it helps to reinforce the values we're teaching, has nothing to do with it. I'm a product of the public schools. I went to the public schools in New Jersey my entire life. And so the idea to think that as governor, somehow that makes my ability less powerful because my children go in, because let me tell you this, Matt, you know what my skin in the game is on the public schools? I pay $38,000 a year in property taxes, and my kids don't go to the school that uses most of that money, but that's my responsibility as a citizen to help to fund good, free public schools in my state. I'm not complaining about it. I'm not asking her for any money to send my kids to parochial school, so it's none of her business.
All right.
And when it's none of your business, it's none of your business, Matt.
Let me move on to something else. You had lunch recently, or a meeting recently with Rudy Giuliani. What did you guys talk about? Don't say it's none of your business.
No.